This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And we begin with a shot of the Honeycomb Company of America, where Governor Scott will be visiting later on this afternoon. That is just north of the airport. He'll be in the area to talk about the number of jobs added to that particular company. And as Jacqueline said earlier, hopefully he'll bring an umbrella for this afternoon press conference.
He's going to need it. John Scalzi's telling us rain could be on the way.
80% chance. Let's get details from John himself. Go ahead.
Yeah, at least. You know, we've been talking about this event for about a week now and advertising the severe weather threat for about 3 days. So it's been well advertised. And today is the day that we expect to see it arrive on the Suncoast during mid-afternoon and right straight through drive time tonight. We have a series of advisories up for our area, all sort of wind and water related. Small craft advisories are up, inland wind advisories, which is basically a small craft advisory for inland bodies of water. Higher than normal tides today by 1 or 2 feet. Shouldn't be a big deal, but it could lead to some slosh over. And rip currents, which is a big deal, obviously, and very high risk of rip currents today because of that strong onshore wind flow. Already southwest at about 15. It'll probably get higher than that later on this morning and into the afternoon. Big storms to the north of us sinking south, due to arrive later this afternoon. Not much going on for your morning commute, but boy, your commute home tonight will be a stormy one. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few.
All right, thank you, John. Right now, the roads are dry this morning and open if you act right now. All clear in Manatee County. Farther south now into Sarasota County. A little red line there to indicate a little congestion on Bee Ridge as you turn off 41 and head toward the interstate. It stops, though, about Shade or School. And all clear right now in South County at 6:02 on this Wednesday morning.
Our top story this morning, a teenager celebrating a friend's birthday. A superfan excited to see her idol and an 8-year-old described as a beautiful little girl, all among the victims of that deadly Manchester terror attack. As
Riley Carlson tells us, the death toll now stands at 22, 60 others injured, many in critical condition.
15-year-old Olivia Campbell called her mom as she waited for Ariana Grande to take the stage.
She was waiting for Ariana to come on and she was so happy, and she thanked me and said she loved me, and that was the last I heard from her.
The night of fun turned into a nightmare. A suicide bomber identified as Salman Abadi targeted children attending the concert. Olivia Campbell and nearly 24 others died in the attack.
She's my baby, and I miss her so much.
The youngest victim, 8-year-old Safi Rose Roussos. Others include John Atkinson, a dancer, and Georgina Collender, an 18-year-old superfan who met the superstar 2 years ago. The night before the concert, Georgina tweeted to her idol, "So excited to see you tomorrow." As Manchester mourns, the investigation continues. The UK raised its terrorism threat level to critical, the highest level, and put the military on the street. Prime Minister Theresa May warned another attack may be imminent, but says the people of England will not live in fear.
All acts of terrorism are cowardly attacks on innocent people. But this attack stands out for its appalling, sickening cowardice. Let us remember those who died, and let us celebrate those who helped, safe in the knowledge that the terrorists will never win.
In Manchester, I'm Riley Carlson reporting.
So again, 22 dead, 60 injured. Of those injured, 20 are in critical condition.
New this morning, as President Trump continues his first international trip since taking office, he and the First Lady meeting with Pope Francis at the Vatican. The Pope has been critical of President Trump's policies on the environment and refugees in the past, but the two spoke for quite a while before parting ways. President Trump now heading to Rome, where he'll meet with the President of Italy. The commander-in-chief will also head to Brussels later today to meet with the Belgian king ahead of a crucial meeting with European Union officials tomorrow.
And while the president is overseas, his former campaign manager has turned over hundreds of pages of documents to the Senate Intelligence Committee. The committee asked Paul Manafort to provide materials documenting his ties to Russia. According to sources, the documents include drafts of speeches, calendars, and notes from his time on the Trump campaign. The committee is investigating possible Russian meddling into the 2016 election.
A scam alert this morning as Attorney General Pam Bondi works with the Federal Trade Commission to crack down on debt relief scams that reportedly stole millions of dollars. Bondi obtaining a court order to halt the operations of 11 companies linked to that scam. The companies convinced consumers to pay for services to settle or obtain dismissals of debts and improve credit. The victims say after paying for the services, they found their debts were unpaid, their accounts were in default, and their credit scores severely damaged. Several victims had to even declare bankruptcy.
Florida has a new top man helping protect our environment. Noah Valenstein was named as the next environmental secretary. He'll take over on June 5th. He was one of more than 140 applicants for this job.
I think the issue is the same everywhere. All Floridians care about the environment. It's the underpinning of what makes a state such a great place to live.
Valenstein currently runs the Swanee Water Management District. Before that, he spent nearly 3 years as Governor Scott's policy coordinator for energy, agriculture, and the environment.
Meanwhile, in Tallahassee, Governor Rick Scott signed 16 bills into law on Tuesday. They include helping victims of human trafficking by creating guidelines for the Florida Department of Children and Families to better coordinate services. Another law reduces registration fees for boats equipped with several safety features. A third law would provide free annual state park entrance passes and 50% discounts on campsite fees for foster families and those who adopt children with special needs.
The 2021 Super Bowl is coming back to Tampa. NFL owners decided to move the game from Los Angeles to Tampa after weather-related construction delays at the new stadium in California. Owners voted to give the game to Tampa in 2021 and have the Rams and Chargers new stadium host the game the following year in 2022. This will be the first time Tampa has hosted the big game since back in 2009. And new developments on the Suncoast, a joint effort to bring the Atlanta Braves here for spring training. Sarasota County Commissioners approved an operating agreement for a deal that includes spending $22 million in tourism taxes to help pay for a stadium and complex in Northport. And now that that's approved, West Villages can now apply for $20 million in state grant funding for stadium costs. They'll also provide the property for the facility. And if all goes as scheduled, the Braves will move from Orlando to Northport for the 2019 spring. So we'll have another team in the area.
And you know, that's great because there's been kind of a hole down in that area for the Grapefruit League. So now that'll be filled and you know, everybody can make the trek all the way up and down the coastline.
After all, Northport is Sarasota County's biggest city.
That's right. That's
Trivia.
right. So you know, they deserve it.
Good
right?
to know. I'll remember that.
Bigger landmass.
Bigger than Sarasota.
Yeah.
We have today a lot of problems weather-wise, mostly with water and wind interactions. Our winds are going to be howling later on this afternoon, so a small craft advisory is up. Boaters stay in port, as well as lake wind advisories. We'll talk about that and the threat of severe weather in just a moment.
All right, still to come, a massive data breach targets over 16,000 Florida concealed weapon permit holders.
We'll tell you what the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services is saying this morning. That story coming up.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wannabe Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
With all the furniture choices you have, where do you shop? How about Bacon's Furniture and Bedding, now available in Sarasota? Treat yourself to a new Beauty Sleep Queen mattress set starting at only $399 and save up to $800 off an adjustable base with your mattress purchase. Find huge Memorial Day discounts of up to 70% off throughout our showroom with hundreds of items ready for immediate delivery. It's the Memorial Day sales event going on now at Bacon's Furniture and Bedding, available now in Sarasota. Nobody beats Bacon's.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, as we take a look at our radar imagery, you can see there are showers and thunderstorms already in progress across the region. Those showers and thunderstorms have already at this hour produced some strong weather just to the north of us, including some severe thunderstorm warnings for North Florida. Now, one thing I want you to be aware of is that our winds are going to be picking up today. They're going to get strong. They are going to perhaps exceed 25 miles per hour with some gusts about 30% higher. That's normally what happens. You get gusts about 30% higher than the actual wind speed. So we could get some 35-mile-an-hour gusts. I recommend during these morning hours when things are going to be kind of tame to take down those porch umbrellas, secure the garbage can lids, anything that can be blown around a little bit later on today. Now, that's just going to be your average winds. There's also the potential of some stronger winds contained within thunderstorms that may move through here and reach severe limits. That could produce wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or better and possibly be damaging winds. So we'll be watching for that. There's about a 15% chance of that possibility. 80 degrees, our current air temperature, dew point high at 74. We got some cloud cover out there. We have a south wind now blowing at 21 miles per hour, and it's going to get stronger as we head into the afternoon. And this cold front continues to press southward through the state of Florida. It's got to clear the state by later on tonight into tomorrow morning before the threat of strong storms is abated. For this morning, most of the activity is going to be in north central Florida, but by the afternoon, I think that frontal boundary will be close enough to us that we'll start to see the threat of stronger storms enter into our forecast by 3 o'clock or so. And then as we head into the drive time tonight, I think that will be the maximum threat window for some of those stronger storms to move through. Stormy afternoon, possible severe weather, mainly those gusty winds, but can't completely rule out tornadic activity, though that threat is small. Water spouts as well. And then clearing early tomorrow morning. Severe Thunderstorm Center, Prediction Center gives our area again today a slight risk of severe weather, mostly those gusty winds, and that continues all the way to the north to near Atlanta and Charlotte airport hubs. So there could be some air traffic delays today. Looking at the timing, the storms get pretty close to us by about 3 and then move through our area right at drive time tonight and then clear the area afterwards, leaving with just a few scattered showers around by tomorrow morning. Some of those, though, could be strong, so we'll keep an eye on that at this time tomorrow as well, or a little earlier, actually. So as far as the beneficial effects of this whole system, well, The rainfall is going to be it. You can see, though, some of these storms are producing lots of thunder and lightning already at this hour in parts of North Florida, and some of these markers are indicating some small hail as well. I'm not sure that we'll see the hail threat here in Central Florida. Right now, everything is quiet for your morning commute, but certainly the gusty winds possible. And the beneficial effect, look at all the cloud out in Gulf waters. Could see some significant rainfall, which will be great because in only a 24-hour period, the threat of the fire danger index in Manatee County has gone from low to high. So you see how quickly it responds to lack of rainfall. Hopefully we'll get perhaps as much as 2 inches of rain today with an 80% chance later on, and then clearing tomorrow and the weekend looks great. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, John. Looking forward to the weekend. Taking a look at traffic, some increase in congestion on the Green Bridge as you head into downtown Bradenton. State Road 70 and 301 looking good, though. I-75 looking clear as well. 41 in Sarasota in both directions looking good. And Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark Road not seeing a whole lot of congestion. We do have an accident, though, in South County at I-75 in the southbound lane at exit 182 near Sumter Boulevard. Other than that, looking pretty easy on your morning commute this Wednesday. Concealed weapons permit holders in Florida may have been the target of a massive data breach.
As Bobeth Yates tells us, a computer hacking could affect 16,000 gun owners.
Putting in the same category as closing the barn door after the horses have gotten out. Now they're going to look into cybersecurity.
Francis Missantone is the owner of the Bullet Hole, a gun store in downtown Sarasota, and he's talking about the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services data breach. The department's online payment system, which processes concealed weapon applications and permits, was hacked. Since the discovery, Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam has ordered a review of the department's cybersecurity measures, but many gun owners say too little, too late.
This is something that the state should have been doing all along. I mean, your protection, my protection, everybody's protection. If they're going to gather the information, they should have it under lock and key where you can't get it.
According to officials, the name, addresses, and phone numbers of 16,000 customers have been impacted. That number also includes about 470 people whose Social Security numbers may have been a part of the breach.
Social Security number bothers me, but as in the hack, it really, I'm a concealed owner, it's registered. That information really doesn't bother me.
But the concern goes beyond just identity theft.
You don't know if it's a situation where they're trying to do it as a way to find somebody who owns guns to break into your house to steal guns. And of course, it could just be somebody doing a hack so they can do identity theft, which of course is also troublesome and inconvenient.
The Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services is offering free credit monitoring for those concerned about the hack. They also suggest closely monitoring your financial information and checking your credit report and implementing any fraud alerts if necessary.
It's just, it's a shame that we always are playing behind the ball. We don't lead the leaders in it. We always say, oh, we should have done this, and then they do catch up afterwards.
Bobeth Yates, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And experts believe that hack may have started overseas. 6:18 right now, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. New information from a former CIA director regarding contact between the president's campaign and the Russians.
More on what he's telling lawmakers troubled him in his findings.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
1 off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by 1 on any or all numbers and still win.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
Sounds like my 4 o'clock tennis game will not happen today.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be necessarily on your schedule today with that rain coming in.
80% chance of rain, a line of storms coming in this afternoon. John says between about 3 and 5. So the wind will pick up and rain is expected this afternoon. Be forewarned. We'll have John's full forecast in about 9 minutes. Welcome back. 6:21 right now.
Former CIA Director John Brennan has testified on Capitol Hill.
And he says he was, quote, troubled by contact between the Trump campaign and the Russians. Mary Bruce has the story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, blunt talk on Capitol Hill Tuesday from former CIA Director John Brennan. For the first time, Brennan revealing that during the presidential campaign, he confronted his Russian counterpart about their meddling in the U.S. election. Brennan making a bold statement, saying he was so concerned about potential ties between the Trump team and the Russians, he felt the FBI should investigate.
It raised questions in my mind, again, whether or not the Russians were able to gain the cooperation of those individuals.
He stopped short of calling it collusion, and the White House took notice. In a statement, the administration stressing that despite a year of investigation, there is still no evidence of any Russia-Trump campaign collusion. We'll have more on the investigation and all the latest political news, including President Trump's meeting with the Pope, coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Mary Bruce, ABC News, Washington.
Day after day, we soldier through, overworked and under fire. What if there was a place to declare peace and comfort that helps cool and cradle every curve? The all-new Serta iComfort Sleep System.
Who knew that my period or sex, even soap, could throw off my pH balance?
Only Vagisil pH Balance Wash has lacto-prebiotic. Use it every day to help support a healthy feminine pH. Get more from your wash. Get better intimate health. Vagisil.
Sugar, we're letting you go.
What? Who's replacing me? Splenda Naturals?
Look, she's sweet, she's got natural stevia, no bitter aftertaste, and she's calorie-free.
So that's it?
We made you a cake.
With sugar?
Oh, no.
Goodbye, sugar. Hello, new Splenda Naturals.
Allergy sufferers, a word to the wise. If symptoms at night ruin your next day, try new Zysol. It relieves symptoms while you sleep and keeps relieving all day. Because Zysol's as effective at hour 24 as at hour 1. So, be Wisol. Take new Zysol.
Hi, I'm Chef Alan Bristow with Publix Cooking School. This is Chef Bob Vitello, and he's going to prepare us a great dish today. Bob, what do you got on hand?
We're going to show you how to sear off a nice steak and butter. It's not going to be healthy, everyone, but it's going to be good. With some rosemary, and we're going to make some risotto.
Beautiful.
All right, first things first, it says, you know, any kind of steak you want, but we love you all. Me and Alan are going to eat this, so we're going to have some filet mignon.
Absolutely.
In here, I have a little bit of butter. I mean, a little oil. We want to baste this with butter, just a little. We want to baste this with
little?
That's the way it is. Mark's not here today. This is what we'll use. No, this is basted with butter. Yep. Now, what we want to do, we put the oil in there so the butter doesn't burn. So we take our nice filet mignon, put a little salt and pepper on there, just like so, and we'll let that go for a second. Back here is our risotto. Okay. Now risotto, everybody, it's not, you don't buy risotto. Risotto is a dish made from arboreal rice. This is arboreal rice. The way you make it is you just slowly add stock to it. Back here I have it all ready to go with the stock. When it's ready to go, when you're just about ready to serve it, you take your other ingredients. We're going to put some peas in there. Nice. We have some of this garlic herb butter. We're going to put that in there, and we're going to take a little bit of fresh thyme. Now, over here, what we do with this steak is we throw some rosemary in there, okay? And see how that butter's browning for us? Yep, looks good. Then we just kind of flip this over with your hands like that, and you baste it with butter. And believe it or not, man, this is the way to do it. I mean, great. I mean, it tastes great. You don't even want to eat a lot of it, but it tastes great. So after that cooks for a while, the one thing I forgot to bring up here is a whole sprig of rosemary. You'd think I worked in a, grocery store. But sprig of rosemary in there too. We're good to go. And we'll just do it, man. We'll eat it up.
Well, thank you, Bob. Starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Publix Apron Simple Meals kiosk to pick up this recipe card and the ingredients after trying this delicious dish. Thank you very much, Bob.
Well, you're quite welcome.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
When I turned 18, something big happened on my birthday. Every comfort that I knew, gone. This is what it feels like to age out of the foster care system in America. And this is the feeling that nearly 30,000 young people experience every year. But it can be better. You and me, working together for success beyond 18. Improve the lives of young people aging out of foster care. Learn more at jimcaseyouth.org.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Drive into Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota and discover big savings during the Drive and Discover event. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab for as low as $24,999. Or get more legroom and maximum comfort with a new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest, Eye Comfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wannabe Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the terror threat in England raised to the highest level as fears intensify of another attack after Monday's suicide bombing that killed 22 and injured dozens more.
A Suncoast girl calls 911 on her father, and he is now under arrest and facing several charges.
And protesters show up at a Northport City Commission meeting to have their voices heard. We'll tell you why they're upset. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And it should be an exciting day at Honeycomb Company of America, which is around the Whitfield and Tallahassee area. Governor Scott will be visiting later on this afternoon to trumpet the new jobs added at that private company. Good morning, 6:30 on a Wednesday. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. If you're heading out the door, you're going to want to grab the umbrella. John says rain in the forecast today. John, let's check over.
Oh, yeah, a lot of it, too. Hopefully, we can get as much as 2 or 3 inches of rainfall by the end of the day without any severe weather. That would be really nice. That's the ideal picture. But we have to make allowance for the fact that there could be an outbreak of severe weather somewhere across north central Florida, and it could be the Suncoast. Mostly in terms of some gusty winds, but it's also possible for an isolated tornado or waterspout to form with some of these stronger storms that move through later in the afternoon and into the evening hours. We have several wind-water related issues across the Suncoast. Small craft advisory, inland wind advisories, higher than normal tides today by 1 or 2 feet, and rip currents will be a problem on our area beaches. Strong storms already moving through parts of North Florida with lots of lightning, gusty winds, and some severe weather has already been noted. Today, the rain chance at least 80%, probably starting at around 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then right straight through drive time, some heavy downpours of rain anticipated. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few, guys.
All right, the roads are dry right now and also pretty clear at 6:31 a.m. Manatee County showing really no delays. Sarasota County, a little slowdown there on Bee Ridge, heading eastbound on 41. Also Clark Road, busy again today at the westbound lanes. In South County, some slowdowns in either direction on US 41.
Our top story this morning, new developments in the terrorist attack that left at least 22 people dead, dozens more injured in Manchester, England.
Police said the blast was carried out by a 23-year-old suicide bomber. It happened at the end of the Ariana Grande concert at the Manchester Arena. ISIS is now claiming responsibility as the UK raises its threat level to critical. A vigil was held outside the Manchester Cathedral today to honor the victims.
You cannot defeat us because love in the end is always stronger than hate.
Grande was scheduled to perform in London tomorrow and Friday, but her remaining tour dates have now been canceled.
Here at home, Governor Rick Scott began yesterday's state cabinet meeting in Tallahassee by asking for a moment of silence in response to that Manchester attack. Scott says the suicide bombing immediately reminded him of the Pulse terror attack in Orlando nearly a year ago.
My heart goes out to everybody that was impacted by this. I remember back to the Pulse terrorist attack and those 49 lives that were lost, and talking to those families, and you hope this, you're just sorry that these things happen. So I hope this doesn't happen again anywhere in the world.
The Manchester suicide attack has been dubbed the worst terrorist event in Great Britain since the London subway bombings in July of 2005.
Topping our local news now, an SUV struck a 3-year-old girl in Bradenton, leaving her in serious condition.
Florida Highway Patrol says 2 teenagers were driving when the little girl ran into the road in front of their car. Troopers say the teens were driving south on Hubble Road near Pine Street. The 3-year-old was taken to All Children's Hospital and she is in stable condition.
A Northport father is facing charges after his 8-year-old daughter called 911 on him. Stephen Segru's daughter told dispatchers he had been drinking. She says they pulled over and he fell asleep. He has now been charged with DUI, neglect of a child, resisting an officer, and other charges as well.
This morning, the parking lot of the 10th Street boat ramp is closed as crews are repaving the lot, and it will be reopened tomorrow morning. The city is asking for all trailers and vehicles to be removed from the area. This repaving is just one of many improvements being made to Centennial Park. Over the past 3 months, all 4 boat docks have been replaced, and crews will also be dredging the nearby boat basin, removing built-up silt to improve the health of Sarasota Bay. Well, Northport's human rights ordinance took center stage at yesterday's commission meeting.
As our Rick Adams tells us, there's a push now to revise the current ordinance.
Well, the discussion on the human rights ordinance here certainly brought out a lot of people. There's concern that an amendment to this ordinance would do more harm for folks than help them. Many folks came to the Northport City Commissioners meeting Tuesday night to have their voices heard inside City Hall and outside, which included members from the ACLU. A revised human rights ordinance would change the language on who the ordinance would protect, from individuals to citizens.
We think that's short-sighted, and that it provides more narrow protections than Title VII under federal law and the Florida Civil Rights Act. Also, 4% of all active duty military are not citizens of the United States.
When it came to decision time, commissioners agreed to not change that portion of an amended ordinance, keeping the language with the word individuals.
It is an issue because everyone wants to be treated fairly. I mean, I think at the core of every person that we want to be treated equally, and we want our city government to treat us equally.
A big part of this human rights discussion did focus on adding specific classes of people to the new ordinance based on sexual orientation, marital status, or creed, just to name a few. There are also changes planned to update language throughout the ordinance and include veterans and pregnant women in that language, where it was originally omitted in the 2015 version of the ordinance.
The Commission just wanted to add some folks who weren't involved with the human rights ordinance. There was no intent to certainly take away rights from anybody.
Northport City Attorney says Sarasota County does not have a human rights ordinance. On Tuesday night, City Commissioners voted in favor of taking the next step in amending the current ordinance. And a finer-tuned version of this will come before commissioners in the near future. Reporting from Northport, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And also in the very near future, Governor Scott will be in Sarasota today to discuss job growth at a company near Tallahassee. He'll be at the Honeycomb Company of America off 301 near Whitfield. He'll hold a 3 p.m. press conference while he's here this afternoon.
Suncoast schools are being recognized for making sure our kids have a healthy school lunch every single day. Over the years, students have gone from eating fried foods to eating low sodium and low fat meals. Instead of serving canned fruits to students, cafeterias are now serving fresh fruits and vegetables like fresh blueberries and steamed broccoli. These schools say the health of students is a priority, and they strive to provide nutritionally balanced and low-cost or free lunches.
Dry conditions leading to an extension of the burn ban in Manatee County. The ban will now be in effect until next Tuesday, but could go even longer. The burn ban was enacted 4 weeks ago. Similar bans in effect right now in Sarasota and also Charlotte counties. The dry weather and drought are prompting stricter water restrictions in Southwest Florida, including here on the Suncoast as well. The Southwest Florida Water Management District voted yesterday to increase water restrictions to Phase 3. That affects 16 counties, including Sarasota, Manatee, and Charlotte counties. Under this new order, lawn watering is reduced to just once a week. Watering hours also reduced. There are also limits now on washing your car. The restrictions remain in effect until at least August 1st.
The start of hurricane season is right around the corner, and Florida Power and Light is one of the many businesses preparing. Coming up later today, we'll take you inside their command center in Riviera Beach to show you how they're getting ready for the upcoming hurricane season. A recent storm drill showcased just how far they've come following a major investment into their infrastructure and technology and what that could mean for us.
We've invested nearly $3 billion into our system. We've invested in storm hardening, concrete poles, undergrounding, smart grid technology, and it absolutely paid off last year.
Tune in tonight at 5 o'clock on ABC 7 for that special report.
A new aquatic center is coming to Northport. The commission there is moving forward with the design and development at the Family Aquatic Center at Butler Park. The plan includes a 25-meter pool, a lazy river, activity pool, slides, a concession area, and much more to be built where the playground is now, and that park will be moved elsewhere. And you won't need to swim later on today because there'll be water from the sky for you.
There'll be a lot of it. Yeah, there'll be a lot of it. Plus, possibly some severe weather around the area as well. Damaging winds, the most likely possibility with any severe storms that build. In fact, that situation is becoming more critical as the hours progress through parts of north central Florida. Really? Talk about that in a minute.
Also still ahead, a filmmaker recognized for his work.
We'll tell you more about why the director received one of Hollywood's highest honors after this.
Fresh out of the box, the Alfa Romeo won us over. We went in skeptical and left in awe of this gorgeous machine. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in.
Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC 7.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It does things that seem impossible, feeling like it could change direction while airborne. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, our current conditions are almost dog days of summer like, with a morning temperature of 81 degrees and a dew point value in the mid-70s. It doesn't get much steamier or thicker than that in Florida. We have some cloud cover out there right now, and winds have been very strong, south, southwest, coming in at about anywhere between 15 and 20. But we've had some gusts as high as almost 30 miles per hour over the last few hours. And I think gusts today of 35 miles an hour will probably by afternoon be somewhat routine. So some very strong onshore winds developing, just pushing tons of moisture across the state, setting the stage for potentially a severe weather outbreak across some parts of Florida. We have a frontal boundary that's carving its way southward through the state. Now, behind it, there is some drier, a little bit cooler air coming our way. That'll come tomorrow. So there is a reward for enduring what could be today some pretty rough weather at times. We'll watch these showers and thunderstorms progress down toward the south and enter into our area of the Suncoast probably around 3 o'clock, 3:30, somewhere in there, and then linger with some of the stronger storms moving through right about at drive time home tonight. And there could be frequent lightning strikes. There could be some gusty, damaging winds, possibly, perhaps as high as 60-mile-an-hour gusts. There's also, can't rule out the potential for some isolated tornadoes, one or two weak, but still tornadoes that could occur, or waterspouts with the systems as it sinks southward. So stormy afternoon, possible severe weather, and then we'll watch for that clearing tomorrow. As far as radar goes, well, we've had some pretty good storms around. This is what we call our future cast. It's an RPM computer model that we run here at the station, and it shows these showers kind of on our doorstep by later this afternoon, and then moving through right at drive time and then exiting southward. Tomorrow morning, there may be an additional few scattered showers around, but probably of a weaker variety as the frontal boundary itself makes its way through our region. Now, there have been some fairly strong storms around in parts of North Florida. By the way, the rest of the week looks absolutely gorgeous as that high pressure ridge builds in. Some stronger storms moving through parts of North Florida. There's an old boundary located here. The front itself is actually back to the west and approaching us, but this boundary has been a focal point for shear in the environment and producing some pretty good thunderstorms with some significant lightning pops as well. One particular cell located right there moving toward the coastline has had a history of rotation, and a tornado watch was issued for that, due to expire in just a few minutes. We can kind of peer into the storm and try to find some sort of rotation. It's probably right about there, moving toward 95. Very weak now. That's why that'll be allowed to expire. But that's the kind of thing that we could expect as this system moves southward through the area later this morning and into the afternoon. Not much in the way of rainfall locally this morning. I think it's going to be a pretty quiet morning. The morning commute should be just fine. So the Severe Storm Prediction Center still puts us in a slight risk, but latest discussions and small-scale analysis of the environment across Florida indicates that they will probably issue an enhanced possibility for storms from probably around Gainesville or Daytona Beach down through around the areas of Fort Myers. So that would include us in an enhanced risk, a slightly elevated risk for severe weather. Now, hopefully, once this whole system moves through, we'll be left with some clearing conditions and some pretty good rainfall totals. There's still some big clouds out in Gulf waters, and hopefully we'll see some rainfall totals in excess of 2 inches before it's all said and done, as our rainfall futurecast here shows. That would be nice. We could really use that, but hopefully we won't get any of that severe weather to accompany it. 80% chance of storms today, clearing tomorrow. Then the next several days look great. Lower relative humidity, and Memorial Day looks to be just fine with only isolated showers. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look at traffic this morning. The Skyway Bridge, Florida Highway Patrol says there are gusts of up to 34 miles per hour, so keep an eye out for that if you are heading across that area this morning. Also, State Road 70 towards 301 seeing some congestion, and then as we head into Sarasota County, Bee Ridge Road as you head towards I-75, seeing a little bit more cars on the roadway, as well as 41 around that same area. As we head into South County, pretty quiet throughout that area. There is an accident, though, on I-75 in the southbound lanes at exit 182 at Sumter Boulevard. In this hour's Health Smart, a new survey reveals Americans may have a hard time determining exactly what counts as a healthy food choice.
Now, 80% of those surveyed say they have found conflicting information about what to eat and what to avoid. Many respondents say they turn to friends and family for guidance on food choices, even though they see healthcare professionals as the most trusted source for guidance. Experts suggest consulting the federal dietary guidelines to get reliable information on which foods contribute to a healthy diet. Yet, don't ask your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
More Oreos and beer, they'll say. Entertainment news now. The family of a slain singer, Christina Grimmie, is expected to refile their lawsuit against the Orlando venue where she was killed last year.
They believe more security measures should have been put in place. Grimmie's family attorney, Brian Kaplan, said he will be adding to the amended complaint that there were no checks for guns before entering that venue. Grimmie was fatally shot by a fan while doing a meet and greet after the June 2016 performance. AEG Live started using metal detectors after her death.
Fans of legendary actor Roger Moore placed flowers and a memorial wreath on his Hollywood Walk of Fame yesterday. The actor passed away after a short battle with cancer. His career spanned more than 70 years, best known for playing James Bond in 7 films. From 1973 to 1985, he was 89 years old.
And nearby, film director Michael Bay received one of the highest honors a star can hope for, his hands and feet encased in cement outside the Chinese theater. The 52-year-old filmmaker is known for high-intensity action movies with big budgets. His feature directorial debut was 1995's Bad Boys. He went on to spearhead blockbusters like Armageddon and the Transformers movies. Bay is credited for pioneering lightning-fast action sequences and propelling little-known actors to immediate stardom.
6:49 right now. Still had interesting story here. Building trust through ice cream?
Ooh, sounds good. We'll show you this unusual new police program after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AND Services.com.
My name is Luke Perry. and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is rated the safest and most dependable automotive brand, and all Subaru models with eyesight are a 2017 IIHS top safety pick. Right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $209 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
With all the furniture choices you have, where do you shop? How about Bacon's Furniture and Bedding, now available in Sarasota? Treat yourself to a new Beauty Sleep Queen mattress set starting at only $399 and save up to $800 off an adjustable base with your mattress purchase. Find huge Memorial Day discounts of up to 70% off throughout our showroom with hundreds of items ready for immediate delivery. It's the Memorial Day sales event going on now at Bacon's Furniture and Bedding, available now in Sarasota. Nobody beats Bacon's.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Come on in, welcome to our pad. Trust me, folks, you're in for a ride. I'm driving, so relax. Unwind, leave your buckets all behind. Get ready to blow your mind. In Beatsville, don't be shy. Come and make the scene. Catch the crazy party inside. The hipsters here are fun and dig, man, they're on to something big. Yeah, they're gonna flip your wig in Beatsville. Catch the gig in Beatsville.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Well, the good news is it's a good day to repair the boat ramp. There shouldn't be a lot of boating going on. The bad news is there's going to be a lot of rain this afternoon, so workers might get wet. As that ramp remains closed, it should reopen again tomorrow.
All right, 6:53 on this Wednesday morning. Here are the top local stories we're following for you today.
A 3-year-old girl has serious injuries after she was struck by a car in Bradenton last night. FHP says 2 teenage girls were driving near the riverfront when the girl ran into the road. The victim was flown to All Children's Hospital.
A Northport father is facing charges after his 8-year-old daughter called 911. Stephen Segru's daughter told dispatchers he had been drinking. She says he pulled over, fell asleep, and then that's when she called 911. He's now charged with driving under the influence and neglect of a child, resisting an officer, and other charges.
And Governor Scott will be in Sarasota today to visit an aerospace manufacturer. This is a live picture of the Honeycomb Company of America. He's expected to discuss job growth at that site. At 3 o'clock, he'll have a press conference. We'll have details in our evening newscasts.
Taking a look at traffic this morning, looks like State Road 70 and 301 seeing some congestion, but other than that, I-75 looking clear as we head into Sarasota County. Looking pretty quiet throughout that area. Bee Ridge Road seeing some congestion as you head towards the interstate. And in South County, looks like traffic doing pretty well. There was an accident off I-75 in the southbound lane, but that has since cleared up. John?
So an active weather day shaping up for us with an 80% chance of storms. We could see up to 2 inches or better of rainfall by the end of the day, and the potential for some severe weather as well, clearing tomorrow.
Well, here's a unique way to get in touch with the residents. Officers in one Michigan city have a unique vehicle in their fleet. But this one isn't aimed at improving safety directly. It actually is an ice cream truck. The Oak Park Public Safety Department revealed Operation Ice Cream Truck. Well named. Safety officers will deliver 300 ice cream sandwiches per week in neighborhoods and at city events over the coming months. City leaders say this is a fun way for officers to connect and engage with the community. They're trying to find all different ways to connect, and this might be the most tasty effect.
I know.
No, that's a great idea.
It really is.
Yeah, well, a way to, kind of associate with kids and get them in a nice relationship with the police. Sure. Can I have just a moment to review some of the watches and warnings that are being issued across the area? I just want to make sure that boaters stay in port today, number one, because we do have a small craft advisory. Winds are going to be howling out there, 6 to 8 foot seas out there. Yeah, so it's going to be a rough go if you're in a small boat. Also, lake wind advisory, which is basically a small craft advisory for inland bodies of water. So later today, we will see a developing storm system move into our area, which could produce some severe weather. And mostly the threat will be centered around gusty winds contained in some of these thunderstorms. And by that, I mean maybe some 60-mile-an-hour gusts. That can do some damage.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with that. Plus the potential for some water spouts, maybe an isolated tornado, maybe. Certainly a lot of lightning, heavy downpours of rain. And I know there's lots of schools that had planned some outdoor activities today, in celebration of the winding down of the school year. But, just be extra cautious. Remember your lightning safety tips. If you hear lightning, you're in danger, or thunder, you're in danger of being struck, get indoors.
Okay, now you're warned. All right, thank you, John. Somehow still enjoy your Wednesday.
Stick around. Good Morning America is coming up.